Evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Maz is okay here. So, sorry if I kept you waiting. It is not intended that I will keep you waiting, but as a result of some challenges that I had, and as it is customary, it will please me to know where you are watching me from, and that is customary to this channel. I hope you are watching me live, and I hope you are watching me and you have the time. As the title suggests, what I am going to do this evening is to explore the facts of the matter that I reported last week when the minister visited Enugu, and that led to the demolition of some houses. As it is today, many of you that have rang me, I can only report back to us that it has become evidently clear on what is happening within the Enugu metropolis. Some of you who have houses in Enugu would know, or rather within the OEMN axis would know that houses are being demolished. As the picture on the screen can show you, you can clearly see that houses are being demolished. And but in all the demolition happening, there appear to be a convolution of um, misunderstanding somehow. We have a widow whose property was taken, and that's the ancestral land. So I have been able to locate the widow. Um, we also have been able to speak to her. Sadly, based on what has happened to her, she also has developed some health challenges as a result of her property that was demolished. Imagine how difficult imagine how difficult it would be to live as a landlady, stay in your own house in 1 minute, and next minute you're no longer a property owner. You know, it is indeed heartbreaking. I do sympathize with her, as I told her when I spoke to her earlier on. So I have also tried to see if it's something I could intervene, um, gone into finding out who is her rep within the Senate, who is her rep within the National Assembly, that is, um, her rep for Enugu East is Cornelius Nnaji, and within the Senate, that's Chimaro Kennamani, and the governor is Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. And I've decided to mention these names because I have reached out to these three people. I thought, okay, if they're not aware, make them aware, let them know that this is happening within Enugu, and let them intervene. Sadly, it appears they're not interested in intervening. Therefore, because they are not interested in intervening, I have done the following. So, I hope you can hear me well. Please, those of you watching me, please like the video and let me know where you're watching me from. Okay. I hope you can hear me well. I hope you can hear me well. So if you can hear me well, please give the video a thumbs up. So, like I said, we were able to see her. When we saw her, she was in, they were still destroying her house. The the saddest part of that incident is that the remnant of her house was demolished yesterday. The remnant of her house was demolished yesterday. So what I did was so this is basically the remnant of the house. So they are now beginning to pack. They are now beginning to pack. Okay. So this is really an unbelievable sight to see. You can you know,
ebe ị na-ehi chije ebe akụ kpọrọ everything.
Charles Obu, thank you very much for helping me out to see this mama. So, and we asked her where she now sleeps. She said there is an Anambra woman, I think from Ajali or so, who taken her in and given her one room to stay. This is the next day after her house was demolished. Okay, so
Chije
here
kịta ka ebe ị na-ehi.
is the conversation.
Oke mmadụ kpọrọ.
See, she said there is an Anambra woman who took me in. There is an Anambra woman who took me in. So hold on, let me see if I can increase the volume. Okay, so let's continue here.
Ndị mmadụ ka ị na-aha nje.
Ma ihe niile osisi bụ n'etebe ebe ọ bịa ka a na-eji ivune ya osisi excuse me ma ndị ọzọ niile ihe niile a na-ekwe kefute sinse nwanne ya ka ọkwa kedu ụbọchị ha bịara medi ya anụ
But ịchọ ihi na nke dị woman ka ị na-ehi.
o nyekwara m ebe m ga na-ala si ka a chọbara nwa m nwoke nke fọdụrụ ndụ si m jee ka a chọbara m ụlọ nse o ọsị m ọ bụrụ ụlọ ebere gị ka ekwugo okwu
Ewebe afọgoro ụlọ.
mba ọkwa ihe ka mere enweghịkwa
So for now ị na-ehi with mmadụ. Gawa ya Anambra.
ọ bụ nwaanyị Anambra.
Okay. It's all right. Thank you.
So what I did was I asked Charles Obu. I did just send a little token, and I asked Charles to extend this little tokenism to her, which Charles, this is a shout out to you, which Charles did. And I am so proud of him. So Charles basically, did this on my behalf with that little tokenism. The reason I had to do that is because, having lost everything, somehow we have to let her know that she's not alone. The government have failed her. I can't say that enough. I can't get angry enough. The government of Enugu State have failed her. The federal government have failed her. The local government have failed her. The community where she comes from has also failed her. On that note, what then happened is that we've asked Charles to, for now, they are trying to find an accommodation for her. So if we are able to find that, that would be very fantastic. But something happened yesterday. She clearly said that she no longer, because of the way the MNA, the community has treated her as a widow, she no longer wishes to stay within MNA. And we left, when we left there, we went to the Igwe of the community. EnuguAirport. After about 2 hours wait, it wasn't, you know, the Igwe didn't want to see anyone. He said he doesn't want to speak to any person, let alone speaking to journalists or content creators like myself. No one um, was allowed to speak with Igwe. Therefore, when you look at the whole thing, I started thinking what would be the best thing to do. While we can criticize the government, question then, however, is what is it that we can do? And some people suggested that we do a GoFundMe. I collected her account, by the way. I think it's a Union Bank account. So some people suggested that we do a GoFundMe, and that GoFundMe will be that this, will basically get money together, put something together, and in bulk, use it to rent an apartment for her, and whatever that is remaining, you can give it to her, in bulk. In that way, I thought, okay, that's a good idea actually, and we've gone ahead and created a GoFundMe for her, and that GoFundMe, if you wish to, please, let me see if I can get that in here. If you wish to donate towards her GoFundMe, if you go to the description of this video, you will see a GoFundMe that is here. I can put that GoFundMe as well. For those of you who, so if you go to the description of this video, you will see the GoFundMe information there. So on that note, if you wish to be part of this campaign to resettle her, a widow of 80 years, that's what she says. She says she's 80 years. She's been thrown out of her house, and like I said before, sadly, let me play us something that is very instructive. When her consent was um, obtained before this, before the GoFundMe, I honestly, she brought me to tears during the conversation yesterday. Um, Let me see if I can find that conversation. Now, hold on, let me see if I can play that. I hope you can. Hold on, Mama. Yeah. Ndị kuturu, ndị gọọmenti bịa kutube gị kutusi alụbe gị na-azọrọ. Federal capital na ndị police. So, for those of you who do not understand what she's saying, if you only understand English here, she's saying that yesterday, even when after her house was destroyed, they came back to take all the rods and the woods, because yesterday she was rushed to the hospital because as a result of that incident, so she was not feeling fine, she was rushed to the hospital. Then she got a call that they are trying to take all the woods and all the rods, and actually to a point of asking her that she has to pay. Listen to that. You see, what manner and level of injustice is this? You destroyed her house, you sold those woods and rods. In the presence of everybody, you still collected 100,000. What level of a system is this? This is now Igbo to Igbo. This is not foreigners. So now, So na hakụkpọchara ụlọ gị lee rọd akụpụta. Onye polisi kwa yes onye polisi kwa nwanne m nwaanyị aka arụ adịkwuru o ji maka na ọ na mmiri operation na fight ka enwe ihe ewepụta nwale otufu ifugote ihe mere m na-emere nke nwa m ama achọtakwa ụlọ na-emere because onye ka amụchichọ ka m gwa gị my reason I don't want to stay there again as they have rejected me. This is a zapum on ụmụaka ndị onye ozi dị m odike ebe ahụ were ezi katapila dịcha ha nche ma nke ụmụ nwụrụ ahụ ma nke mama abịakwazi ebe a na-arụkwa ụmụ ebe m ga-esi nweta ihe the last one and nwerezi n'ebe ọzọ m ga na-asị mmadụ ma ọnwụ ụgbọrọ efekpọcha ya njekwele ihe ahụ a na-anụkwa ụdị akụkọ ahụ ụwa nke a mụnwa ma achọtakwala enyere brọda ebe ọbụla m chọrọ ihe ma bụ ụlọ tinyere m ego na akaụntụ m unu ji ebe m chọtakwara ngwa ụlọ ebe m chọtazi onye bụ sọsọ ụgbọ m ji maka na m ga-egosiri ndị ụlọ na m ga-appreciate ihe unu mere nsogbu adịghị sọsọ ọmanụbọchị n'ime na agwụ nsogbu adịghị ha nwere ike idegbukwuo m ma ọ gbagbuo m nwandị. Now, did you hear that? Because I was asking her if she would, if we are going to look for another property for her to, move in within Enugu. She's now saying she's not interested in moving to anywhere in Emene. She wants to go out of Emene. She says she now, the way it is, even fear for her life. That she no longer feels secured within Emene, that she fears for her life. So how did we get here, people? How come that a widow is being treated this way, people? This is not who we are. Look at it. This is not who we are. We are not this heartless. This is not who we are, people. This is unbelievable because the more I was, looking at what was happening, and I look at these things and I say to myself, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. So you can see the whole thing here. It is really, really sad. So the money you see her counting was the only thing I gave her yesterday. On Sunday, and because it is, just to say, Mama, while I believe the world and the, everyone who is touched by your story can help to get you a place that you can stay, but at the meantime, if you can manage this little one. Now, let's go for a tour here. This is the tour of the house. Okay, so it's she's pointing at her husband's grave. That's actually what is happening there. And when you look at this, you can only make you cry. And I'm just telling. I told Charles, you've done a very fantastic job for representing me here, and you can see, listen to the conversation.
Or I can just get us a small couch now. The government the father we have a vacation need to make a compensation.
Now, I think this what she said now is very critical for everyone who is genuinely concerned here to understand. She said it categorically clear now. There was never a time she was compensated. there was never a time she was compensated. That was the question.
isi godo maka iche mmadụ na ebe abakwa madam na ebe abakwa na gọọmenti ijekwu n'osi onye ahụ maka na m na-asị ya na mbụ onye emene diji ọdụgodo ya ka asị egosichara ha mmadụ ọ bụrụ na ha ga-eme ndị ahụ intaviu eme ihe intaviu ọ maka na m nọ n'ụzọ ka m ji asụrụ ya ọdịka a ga-asị na m abụghị onye emene mana abụ m onye emene nne na nna m ndị emene so m na-akọwata ha sị ya na ebe a bụ ndị nke a bịara ikute ihe mana sinsi niile m ji nụọ di 1963 m ji nọrọ ebe a enweghị onye bịara gwa m ọga m bụ ihe kwuru ka m nụrụ di ebe a mana ọga m si na ihe ya jiri ụlọ anụ ọrụ na asị ya arụkwa n'ụlọ elu na plen si ebe a which is true sinsi niile ụmụ m niile plen si ebe a onwere ihe a gwara anyị enwere ihe ndị kọtụ gwara kporo ya agaba ebe a isigo n'azụ ụlọ chọrọ ikolie Enugu ebe a nụnwa tenansi na-ejuvie na-amụsisi nwa oge a nụrụ agha ka a chụsasịrị mmadụ nụ agha agbasacha so agha bekwa anyị natakwaba anyị
mgbe a chịrị enyeghị notice
nye ka m na-agwa n'oge nwa jekwere be gọvanọ esomuru ndị omene ndị ọzọ na.
Now again, she said she was never given any compensation in any way, shape or form, and equally that she is an indigene of Emene. Now I want us to understand the injustice here, because that is, it could happen to any of us, and that's why we want a just society. A just society that the government must fight for the people. But here, it is clearly that the government has nothing and has never fought for the downtrodden. You see, the husband's family have sold every surrounding land in this vicinity, with the exception of the one she inherited from the husband. Now you can see what they call jealousy. That's why it appears the Emene community abandoned her, because she is one of those in the front. That is what they consider the choice areas. And she said something in the course of this interview, that in the where her land is close to the Igwe, and her land was taken. But initially, when her first son was before the death of her first son, while he was alive, she was told that the land that will be taken for the airport will include the Igwe's compound as well. But it appears the Igwe's land now is not being touched, and her property is obviously gone, where she virtually got nothing, because she rushed out of the hospital in order to come and take see, sorry, but guys, when you see this level of injustice, it makes you want to cry. She was among those that went to see the governor when the rumor came that her house would be demolished. But she was not allowed to speak. She was not allowed to speak because the governor said, well, he doesn't need you to speak. Decision has been made.
So ihe nwaanyị skuulu na ebe agwa mbụ na asị na ndị minister ebe a bụ community land, and then ha anagoro ego kem. We say community land.
Now, and this is where the information she gave here is very critical. That Emene suddenly said that the whole place is community land. However, this is her ancestral land. It has nothing to do with the community. It has nothing to do with the community. How come the community apparently has collected money and because she's a widow, treating her badly, no compensation was given, and she's been thrown out on the street? The only essence of this video is to spur us, maybe get us to the point that we can show our humanity, that we can come together and look at, in her own case and see how can we chip in our own little way to help. How can we do in our own little way? Because very
ihe ndị a na-adaziri m gọvanọ na-asị na ana-abịa ndị airport mgbe so na mmiri ziri na di m ga-egote ndị airport anyị etu a ka ha si ekwu.
So ịnụ na asị na community anatago ego
na ha si na be di m bụ community land ma ebe elere ere ma ebe a niile and ndị oge ha ji na-ekwu ya na 2011 ha bịara na-ekwu igwe emene do ndị gọọmenti na-akpagharị okirikiri a na-erumọkwa ahịa airport a mana my first born si na ya fụrụ sketch ebe ọ dị na ihe anụnwa bụrụ eziokwu makwa na o metụtara ma be igwe niile wee gbadaa ma ọ bụrụ na ọ maka kago ka a na-arịa na ihe ya fụrụ n'akwụkwọ kwuche ebe o metụtachara ma ndị bi n'ụzọ rel.
The question is, why was no compensation paid?
So igwe dịrị ndị mmadụ ọ nọrọ na Abuja na-akpọ ese na igwe dịkwa ndị mmadụ ya gaa na anyị gburugburu ọsị m na ya na-anata amarọ m na arụ adịrị n'elu ọya ahụ ọ yachara nata ebe a wee nwụrụzie ifugie
ewekwana ihe ohe chọrọ ịghọta ndị uweala na-akịta ya fọm nghọta nke gị ọ bụ Enugu steeti gọọmenti nwere na-akọ Federal Airport Authority
onye makwa ma enwere Enugu steeti m jere mgbe ha enyere m ọnụ ha ekwuru okwu.
So now you see the convolution here. It's not clear if this land was taken by the federal government or by the state government, and that's the question Charles asked now. So it's not clear. So we
igwe emene bụ nwanne di m ọchụọ m ọ sị na ewere ya jikọrọ m na anya na ya na-abụ mana ọnwa m nsị ọkwa ma nwoke wetara gị igwe anụ niile ewu niile ekwenyere ụbọchị echiri echichi ebe a ka nwa m nwoke kweretere na-akpọnarị ya ofu ofu nsị ekedozi ihe nwa m nwoke mere gị ị gwarọ m ka ọ mụ na gị ka ọ na-ese n'ebe ọbụla m fụrụ mma ka ọ gị sị gị ọga kedu ọ sị na ya amaghọkwa nwa kedu ihe ọzọ m chọrọ ka ya kwuo kedu ihe ọzọ m chọrọ ka ya kwuo ọ bụrụ na ya ekwuru okwu na ndị ọzọ ekwuchitego n'ọnụ ya ndị ọzọ ekwuchitegoro m ọnụ m sọ ọ sị na ndị ọzọ ejego tinye afa m na gọọmenti Chinenye nwere nwaanyị dị 80 years a na-achọ ịkụkọ nwa bie agadi nwaanyị na ọ dịrọkwa machie n'ebekwe anyị mụnwa amarọ na esomụfụ na redio ma ọ bụ ya fụrụ na redio ka ọ gụtara na news mụnwa amarọ o kwuo ya na bie ka m je witi ndị dugere m ọ bụrụ ọsọ m je hụ gị na ọkwa asị na m dị 80 years kedu ihe ọzọ m chọzi ka ya kwe na afọ m ejechego n'ebe niile je baa moto fụbara onwe bushit bakụọ m na bie ebe ahụ ma witi ndị ọzọ agadi na isi ọwọkpọ m je ebe ahụ etu a ka m si jebe amarọ m ihe ha na gọvanọ na-eme mitin na-agba izu na-akpagharị amarọ m ihe ya metara
obodo eweta union PG
ọkwa ha na-eme mitin bụ igwe ha na igwe ha na ndị obodo ha enwechara mitin ha na-enwecha union ebe ha si eme mitin mana enwere ọnụm onye na-egezi dị ọkpara m so ha so eme mitin ụmụnna n'ogo ebe a kụzie m na ụmụ m niile.
Okay. Mommy, the summary of here what I know ewela na without erogi notice. Erogi complaint. I don't know hiku. Achọ m ka m mark wo hiku watara.
Ọkwa ịmara ofu onye bịa te isi bịa kịta. Asị m ofu onye bịagodo etu isi bịa kwuo ya n'ọnụ na mmadụ emehie no talking ọ bụrụ na ederi ede nweta na-egosi gị. Enwero.
Okay, no notice.
No notice at all, no compensation.
ị na-anụzi ịnọzi n'azụ na-anụzi
anọkwa m ebe emere m ọpreshọn mejọ ọpreshọn ewee si na eji maikrofonu na-agagharị n'eme si na a na-abịa akụtuchi na ebe niile amakụrụ bad adịghị makụrụ ụlọ anyị bad shọpụ niile anọrọ m na hospital n'ime aka na-eme m dresin ọkọbeghị ka ebe efu plasta ma ọ bụ na eyi m shimi ka ngosi gị m ga-abịa tụbakwa na-achị for what.
So ị na-anụzi n'azụ na ndị kọmuniti agago na igwe
ndị stranger solo nọ na anyị agwara m chim na di ejere na federal capital Abuja wee jekwa ya nwoke n'ọrụ wite ndị gọọmenti ebe ahụ ejechesi ha na asị na ebe a niile maka nwaanyị nwee skuul ebe a o wee sị ya gị jekwa nwefu skuul gị na ebe a niile na asị na kọmuniti land and na-ejego ha ego ha rie since
okay, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria ego ha ego
amarọ m ọkwọrọ ndị nyere etu a ka nwaanyị asịgwa m na-asị na-ekwugo ha ụgwọ ebe ahụ ndị si na federal nọrụ community land which means ọ ndị emene ga-ekwu na community land a stranger ga-abịa kwuo na ebe a bụ community land.
Which means answer to every question lies with Igbo.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, man.
So again, you have seen it. That is the whole full story here. Head and tail is that the woman has been treated bad, very, very bad. And, I can show us here that we have, yesterday we set up a GoFundMe to get her to, relocate her. So far we have a donor last night. That was done very late last night, and we set it up. I shared it within my contacts. Innocent Anthony, whoever you are, Innocent Anthony, I don't know you, but thank you very much for your donation. So any one of us that can help to put any money in this donation will be much appreciated. Please, if you can go to GoFundMe, the link is on the description of this video, and the link is on the description of the other video that the first day we reported it. If you go to GoFundMe, 80 years old widow whose house was demolished, -MN. So no matter what you have to help, please, by all means, do help. Let us see what we can do. Obviously, like I said before, if you want to call, basically the line is free for you to call and make a contribution. I wouldn't let this broadcast run for more than 45 minutes. But what it is that, government have failed this woman abysmally, and sadly as well, that government has failed. Let's endeavor not to fail her too. The government has failed. There is no two ways about that. Not Enugu state government have done well. Not the federal government have done well. It's just that the land was taken. Yesterday being Monday, the 4 graves in her house were all destroyed. I was discussing with someone. I said, listen, I'm into projects. I am so disappointed that those working for the airport did not take into account how they will relocate. Normally, when you want to do something like that, you have to think of how you would as well relocate those, those that are near the airport. But here we are, nothing of such. I remember when Heathrow Airport runway Terminal 2 was to be built. There was an argument of what is going to happen. Now, the argument was at some point that they have to relocate ants, arụrụ na anụ Igbo. They were talking. The argument was environmentalists and what they call them again, animal rights, were protesting that there are some species of ant home towards the runway at the Heathrow Airport, and that there is no plans to relocate the ants. Now, that is England talking about ants, but here in Nigeria, you have people with brain, probably people with grey matters in between their skulls, planning on how to do an airport, knowing that these lands belongs to human beings, these individuals live here, this is their ancestral land, that they have known nothing else than that place. You do not have any plans on how you will relocate the people. But elsewhere, they take charge. And as I said, if I was in charge of that, I would as well make sure that this woman was relocated and that the graves were relocated as well. Nothing stops you from exhuming the bodies. Exhume the bodies. I mean, sometimes you think, are we humans? Why do we prefer to treat ourselves in this way? Are we humans at all? Exhume the damn bodies and do the right thing. You should have put it in your project plan, in your breakdown. At so time, these families will be relocated to. I am so disappointed with the Enugu state government. Wallah, I am so disappointed because the Enugu state government, there were lands at the hinterlands of Emene. It would have been better that the argument is, oh, we built this place for you. Ebony State is building an airport. I am aware that Dave Umahi, before he even started this airport, he had to relocate the people, the rightful owners of that land. And that is the right thing to do. That is a man who understands a project. But here we are in Enugu, the same bunch of people that went to the only recreational park we have in Enugu, Polo Park, and destroyed it and built in useless ShopRite. The same ShopRite you could have used to create employment and go somewhere else and create a new city with ShopRite. The same people that destroyed the zoo we had in Enugu. Now we have what's it called? Gates, I can't remember what it's called. Is it Gate, Ramsgate or whatever, Gate Hotel? What is wrong with us? Where are the green areas? We keep building. I have no issues. Just like as Mama have said, she had no issues, even if you want to take her land. But we all must condemn this act, and I am condemning it in the strongest of terms. I have written to the governor. I have written to the senator representing her. That is what was called the former governor of the state, Nnamani. And I have written to Njenje, again, her rep. Yet none of them has ever come to me. None of them picks the call because I am protesting for an injustice being done to a woman I don't know. I have never met her. I don't know her. If not that this was brought to my attention. But an injustice to one not addresses an injustice to all. Therefore, this evening, I implore us to please see what we can collectively do for her. Check the description of this video. You will see, again, you will see the link to the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe. Also, let me see if I can put it, put it on the description as well, or on the chat there, if you wish to please make any donation, especially those of you in the diaspora. Nothing is too small. If it's possible within this week and next week, the moment the moment they come back with property or accommodation, I think we've informed some agents within Enugu to start looking for an accommodation for her. I would encourage you to please, like myself, to all of us, as in Igbo we say, "Nnukwu azụkpata nnukwu nkwụ, ọbụla azụkpata ọbụla nkụ." We all, when you expect our politicians, when you expect the money bags to show that they are indeed money bags and they are indeed those representing the people, and they will disappoint you and they will fail abysmally. In this case, the government, those representing us, they have all failed, Mama. The last hope and the last succor is you and I. I appeal to you, if possible, let's make it for her. She's 80 years old. No one knows how long she's going to stay on earth. But no matter how long she's going to stay, let's make her remaining days on earth worthwhile. Yesterday I told her, when she on the call with her, when she was crying, I said to her, "Mama, stop crying. I can only do my best." And she was lamenting, she has lost 4 of her children, adults. Very, very unfortunate. When she was crying and lamenting, I said, "Mama, you see, we don't know. I haven't met you. But your story touched me. I believe if I retell your story to the world, you are likely, Mama, to end up having hundreds, if not thousands, of children who will come to wipe your tears. An injustice to one, once more, is an injustice to all." I don't want to take much of your time. On that note, let me see if is any call coming in. If not, you watching me. I mean, what we need now is action, not to blame. We have blamed the government. Obviously, myself, I have blamed the government because the government is, in this case, they're just basically useless. It's of no use, not fit for purpose. But here we are. Let us see what we can do. Let me take some of your comments. Blessed Joffy Frank says, Blessed Joffy Frank said, "The level of the injustice is incomparable. The government has failed in total." Yes, the government has failed totally. The government has failed abysmally. And the government has failed woefully. You watching me, if you can, make some donations. Some of you who want to do it while we are online, if you want to call and make a pledge in order to encourage this. I mean, we're all doing our best. Like I said, I'm putting a disclaimer. I keep saying it before some people will say that is my mom. I'm raising money from my mom. No, she's not my mom. She is aware that because I told her yesterday, I'm going to do a GoFundMe. So if you want to bring in to say you're going to give her XY, amount of money, that's fine. If you wish to pay into her, what's it called, Naira account, um, equally good, but as people suggested to me yesterday that it would be better to do this in bulk. So if you prefer to pay into a Naira account, you can also send me a WhatsApp message on this number, demanding that I give you Mama's account number. I would gladly do. Again, we are still on £30 so far raised, and once more, I will say a very big thanks to Innocent Anthony. I don't know who you are, but you have done a marvelous thing by donating. Okay, so please, please, please let it come in, people. Let's show that we are ndị Igbo. Olugo na omume. Mmadụ ama ndị si ka ife akọle. Ọkwụnụ ndị Igbo ka anyị bụ. Ke ka anyị ga-esi mezie onwe anyị ụdị njọ wee mee onwe anyị ndị njọ na mgbe na mmadụ na-eji aka ya ewetala onwe ya abụmọnụ. N'elu onye dị 80 ka unu mara ụdị ha. Ọ bụrụ na o welu iwe bụọ mmadụ ọnụ, ọkwa ịma na o nwere ara agbatakwa ọnụ ya n'ọsọ. Na mama wee iwe welu iwe wee bụọ mmadụ ọnụ. and ndị niile anụnwa ma ndị lelụ nkụ ya nya ndị je kpọsịa bịa lee nkụ ya nya ọmandịla unu na mma ọkwa ifụwa ya bụ ego unu letara na nkụ a ọmandịla unu na mma ọ ya asụ n'afọ etu ovu na ndị niile nọ n'ọchịchị nwere aka fadị na unu ji ịnalụ nwaanyị aja ịnalụ ya unu ya ọmandịla unu na mma mma akụrụ unu ọfụ ndị niile aka fadị n'ive ọmandịla unu na mma mbọsị oke ọmandịla unu na mma mbọsị ori ọmandịla unu na mma na mbọsị afọ ọmandịla unu mma na mbọsị nkwọ onye ọbụla nwere aka ya dị n'imegide nwaanyị di ya nọrọ nwaanyị ụmụ ya nwụzuru ọmandịla onye evu mma ekwuo m na ndị ichie na ndị egede unu na anụ ive na-ekwu na ọmandịrịva na mma na mbọsị ka ọmandịrịva na mma na mbọsị oyi ọmandịrịva na mma na mbọsị afọ ọmandịrịva mma na mbọsị nkwụ ọmụnwa bụ maazị Ezeoke na-ekwu na dịka o si wee dị na iwe na ọnụma ka eji eme afụ n'ọkwamudem ụmụnne m biko onwe onye nwere ife ọ ya enye iji nyere ya aka ndị niile achọrọ m ka emebi ya na ihe a bụ Enugu Anambra Imo Igbo bụ ofu Igbo na-asụ n'ọnụ n'ọnụ mụnwa bụ onye Anambra mana anụrụ m ude nwanne agba n'ọsọ and ihe niile dị ebe a na ọ ga-adị transparent please because na ọ bụrụ anyị na-criticize gọọmenti for not ịdị transparent mgbe ọbụla atụtụsị ala ego a ihe mmekwa anyị na nkwa bụ mgbe a ga-esendili ya ego a etu esi wee sendili ya ego mmemme another video gosi ya nekwo maka na a sị na ọ bụrụ na atụpụ nkịta akpị egosiri ya ọ dịka atụrụ ya mbọ so na onye ọbụla nwelu ka o si weta ego ka ewelu chọtalụ mama unu ọ sị na ọ chọrọzi ibi na-emene ka anyị mara ebe ọzọ anyị achọtala ya mana dịka o si kwu o nwee ndị ọ si na faya achọta ka nchọkene ọ bụrụ na o nwezie ihe anyị tụkọtaziri tụrụ na-ege ntị ihe mụ na ya kpa onye nwekwanụ ka ọ ya esi nye aka agwara m ya na mma akọlụ ụlọ a sị na o jebela ejebe ka alaeze ọ naba anabịa ka nkọlụ ya bụ ya na amalụ onwezie ka esi m ihe a onye nzitelu nya ka ọ bịa fụ gị o nyelu m akaụntụ gị Union Bank so onwezie agafu m akaụntụ Veronica Alum so ọ bụrụ na onwezie ihe anyị tụkọtaziri through GoFundMe anyị ga-emezi ka akwụnyelu gị ya na ka akwụnyelu gị ya na data Union Bank ọ ga-aka mma etu ahụ mana ihe ị ga-ama ama bụ na like dịka m si gwa gị nyaa obi ekoropụ na gị obi sie gị ike ị ga-ama na o nwee ndị fụ na ihe mere adịghị mma and ọnọ ha ka egwu na onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo nọ n'ụwa gbaa gburugburu hụrụ na ihe mere adịghị mma like dịka isi ikwu kịta ọ dịghị mma na akụtụsiri ụlọ gị bịa lee rọdụ lee osisi na-ewezi ya ka ihe onye nwụrụ anwụ na ọ dịrọ mma ka ezi nke a bụ mmegide nsogbu adịghị ngwa jisi ike mama oke ndị ahụ igirigirigo ibu echekwara igosiri ha gị ndị tinyelu jene ya mama ana anụ ihe na-ebu ya igwe osiri mmiri ya gị n'obi ahụ mama ya bụ okwu eteka kama igbu ya na mkpirisi bụ na igwe ekweghị ahụ ha anya igosi ha na ọ daghị igwe ekweghị ka ha na ha kwuo okwu igosi ha na ya na ndị mmadụ anaghị ekwu okwu gbasara ihe gbasara okwu anị ha na onwe ha onye ọ chọrọ igwe okwu gbasara okwu anị so ha ekweghị ọ ga-agbakọ ya Jehova Chineke gosi niile nke ndị agha na-afụ ifu afọ na adịghị ọdụ ọchịchị mmadụ ọma ndị ọchịchị Jehova na-ekpe ikpe ziri ezi ọ dịghị liberal and I trust him
ọgbachacha ọsọ agụọ maị ọkwa n'ụwa mụ na ị ga-anọkọ n'ụwa anyị nọkọkwa n'ụwa anyị ejezachukwu mgbe ahụ ka mma ma ọ ga-adọ Chineke. Thank you.
Ngwa njisi ike ngwa na-eme ọfụma
okwu dịrị Chineke nwanne ka
okay. So that was my conversation with her last night. You know, she asked what the conversation with Igwe was. I said, well, that's a discussion for another day. But I can tell us free of charge that there are some conspiracies. From what I found out so far, there are some conspiracies around the whole thing. You know, I can categorically say that some people have soiled their hands in the whole thing. And Chinedum Iwoha says their days are numbered. Dominic Benedict Itwa said, what of the woman's children? I told you before, she said she had 6 children and 4 died, with 2 left. The one male that is left appears not to be, how do they see it? Nake Sirike, obviously location unknown. The one lady that is left is in Lagos, whom she said that the husband died within the COVID period, and also very, equally financially not in a position. Not that any of us, not that I am too comfortable that I can throw money around, but having heard her stories, I mean, that was the only reason why I had to arrange for people to go and see her, and I gave them money that they would give her. At least, if not for anything, her house was taken down. She will be eaten. If she wants something, she's going to hospital. So, that's the thing. The story is so pathetic. I'm not a good storyteller, but it's, the whole thing just makes me sick. It makes me sick, and you think of, is that how we govern ourselves? This is not others doing this to. That's what I want us to sink in. This is us to ourselves. N'ọkwa ka na ma ejije ụmụahịa. Ọkwa ka na ma ejije ụmụahịa. Nyem. Na enye gị ọ bụ ihe a ka anyị ga na-eme ụmụahịa. We are talking about an airport. An airport unu nọ dị ya na-egwu unu wayo. An airport that have already called fraud. The minister is telling us that they've spent $200 million on that airport. $50 million, I will almost finish that airport. And they are telling us $200 million. If Rudurian is where onye kwuo ya chọọ unu na-achọ onye eje kpọrụ DSS ka ọ bịakwaba aka na bia n'ọnụ m ka ụchọ ya n'unu na-egwu wayo. Or the next thing is, after 1 year, don't worry, wait for my you listening to me, wait for my broadcast on Monday. On Monday is going to be 1 year. If God tallies, if we are alive, on Monday, I will do a 1 year anniversary of that airport. That will chronicle our campaign. Monday is going to be 366 days I have been fighting for Enugu International Airport. One day, I never knew it's going to get up to 3 months, talk less of 6 months, talk less of 1 year. I have not relented. Every single day, I worry the minister for the last 66 days. But I think this year is a leap year, so that's why 66. And sometimes you wonder, you wonder why, because it is ours. Onye ọbụla ewelu sense ya for Nyenike, Abuja, before Abuja was done, Kaduna was upgraded. Kaduna was upgraded as it appears. Google it. Kaduna was upgraded to take international flights. The runway expanded. Everything done within 40 days. Kaduna, not Abuja, everything done before 40 days. Abuja was scheduled for 42 days. Abuja was done in 40 days. But here we are, taking people's land, expanding the land, knocking a widow's house, doing everything you're doing there. Yet, 1 year, not even the runway you can finish, talk less of the environment. The environment looks like Iraq. I have videos of the fire trucks. You think, honestly, you think maybe we just finished the Biafran war, and this is how things look like. There are things I see from that airport. I tell myself, something must be wrong with the brain of a black man. Why are we this incapable? Why are we this wicked? Anyway, people, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much. And if you can please make any contribution towards this woman's plight, that would be much appreciated. Anyone now that I'm still online, anyone that makes any donation, I will give you a shout out live here. Also, I would also want to, give shout outs to every single person that donates to this cause. At the end of the day, let's see if we can rehouse her. Let's see what we can do for her. That's what makes us Ndigo. Onye ajụla ajụ, ara ajụ onwe ya. On that note, I will say thank you very much. If you don't want to donate to her GoFundMe and you feel that you want to donate to her Union Bank account, please send me a message on this number on the screen, WhatsApp only. Then I can reply you with that account if you so wish. But some of you and many of you in the diaspora, I think GoFundMe is the most easiest one for you because that money is going to come out of your credit card or PayPal or whatever it is. This is one of. This channel does not do this. This is just one of because we are so touched by this story of this woman. It's a one-off thing that only happens. Okay, so thank you very much. Iyama Kingsley says, "My brother, Enugu International Airport is beyond." Hold on, let me take your comment. My brother, Enugu International Airport is beyond what you are narrating. The issue is that the current government don't want the airport to operate for this period until further notice. Well, it could be. I don't know. But I think I know one or two things happening in Enugu International Airport. My campaign actually on that airport has made me see some documents and get some information. I think that nation is a joke. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. An airport we are spending 10 billion, 10 B as in billion, 10 billion. Yet it's not better than a track field. On that note, I will say wait for my broadcast on Monday on Enugu International Airport. Maybe before then, on Friday, 7 o'clock Nigerian time, I will be having a conversation with Chief Godi Owazurike and Kill Briggs and Utumba Osonia. We are going to be discussing the Southern and Middle Belt Alliance, a panacea to Nigerian crisis. The time to think about South is now. Thank you very much once more. I remain Mazezoke. God bless.